Well, happy Monday morning to you, everyone. Welcome back. Hope you had a really, really good weekend. Boy, it was a full weekend for me, I can tell you that. But it was a good weekend. We are continuing our study of the eschatology of the parables of Jesus. And I've been sharing with you how the eschatology of Jesus' parables falsifies any futurist eschatology. We've been focused over the last few lessons on Luke chapter 19. And the situation there was that the Jews believed that Jesus was about to establish the kingdom immediately because he was on his way to Jerusalem, which of course is the place where they believed the kingdom would be established with the Messianic king. So Jesus, knowing that they believed that he was going to Jerusalem to establish the kingdom immediately, told a parable. And he said, a certain nobleman went into a far country there to receive the kingdom and to return. Now, it's really fascinating, not to mention important, to notice the theme, the motif, of what we will call the absent master. That is to say, of Jesus portraying himself repeatedly in his parables and even in some of his prosaic teachings of the fact that he was going to go away, going to go to the Father, there to receive the kingdom and to come back and to rule and to reign forever in that spiritual, unseen kingdom. Now watch this. Watch how Luke chapter 19 and that motif of going away, the absent master, helps us in our understanding of eschatology. And for instance, the Olivet Discourse. I've already shared with you once how Jesus' parable in Luke chapter 19 proves that the Olivet Discourse is united. But now watch this. The linchpin verse that everyone appeals to in the Olivet Discourse to prove that it's divided is Matthew 24, verse 36. But of that day and hour no man knows, no, not the angels, not even the Son, but the Father only. Now that's more of a quote of Mark 13, verse 32. But I want you to notice, watch this. But of that day and hour no one knows, not even the angels in heaven, no, not the Son, but only the Father. Now we're told that changes the subject from the discussion of Jerusalem, destruction of Jerusalem, to the so-called end of time. So here in Mark 13:32 we have, but of that day and hour knows no man. Take heed, the very next verse, for you do not know what the time is. Watch this. It is like, what time? What it? The day and the hour. What is the it? It's the coming of the Lord. It is like a man going into a far country who left his house and gave authority to his servants to each his work and commanded the doorkeeper to watch. Wait a minute. That's Luke 19. Do you catch the power of that? Luke 19, a nobleman went into a far country, gathered his servants, committed his talents to them, and said, occupy until I come. That's Mark 13:32 and following. So Jesus said, the day and the hour of his coming was unknown at the time he spoke those words. But he said, even though the day and the hour was unknown, it was just like a man who went into a far country. He allotted his goods to his servants and said, take care of this. Luke 19. But wait a minute. Luke 19 is undeniably about Jesus going back to the Father, receiving the kingdom, and coming back in judgment of those who said, we will not have this man to be ruler over us, i.e., Old Covenant Jerusalem and Judah. That means that the day and the hour of Mark 13:32 and Matthew 24:36 was the day and the hour of the Lord's coming in AD 70. The unity of the Olivet Discourse is demonstrated and proven beyond shadow of a doubt. And it destroys futurist eschatologies. Hey, look, this motif of the master going away and returning, the absent master, is a lesson that I have developed in depth in a series on Acts chapter 1. After all, Acts chapter 1, Jesus left. I'll be developing this in my next installment, so not too much of that here. But in this 15-lesson series on Acts chapter 1, 9 to 11, I have one lesson devoted to the motif of the absent master. You will be absolutely amazed at the unity of the New Testament teaching concerning the absent master, and as we've seen this morning, it applies to the Lord's coming in AD 70. Go to my website, eschatology.org or BibleProphecy.com. Order the series on Acts chapter 1 in like manner. Mention that you saw the offer on YouTube or Facebook, and I'll refund your shipping. Thanks so much for joining me for this morning's morning musings. Lord willing, we'll see you on the flip side.